mountain is reduced to ash, but two soldiers walk out, alive, changed. Trey Stokes now radiates molten energy. Fire pulses from his skin. But Nicole Glass emerges with golden fire flickering behind her, flames forming from her back. They emerge not as casualties, but as something more. Hellion 6 watches as Trey and Nicole are transformed by an ancient power. Touched by the primordial ember, Trey Stokes is now firefighting.
So, so we got several new projects going on. Of course, we got FyreBound. One thing we did with FyreBound, we went and enhanced the imagery, gave bolder contrast to the art, got rid of a lot of redundant imagery and ideas, and literally recreated the book, at least from the standpoint of the artwork, and then republished. So it gives it a something for longevity's sake, a bolder look, more explosive. It really reminds me more of that whole Marvel DC Comics idea. You know, this Trey Stokes and Glass, this black couple, military soldiers transformed into living symbols of power and fire. I think the imagery really reminds me of something more along the lines of cinematography. It highlights the depth, the color of their skin, the hair, the texture. I love it. Firefight himself, the living inferno. And actually, these are some of the actual images from the book itself. Entropy, the villain, he was completely redesigned to give him those dreadlocks, you know. And the secret behind Entropy's ascension is that he used to be one of them. He used to be a light bearer. And that whole thing's coming out in the second book. Entropy's fall from grace, or more importantly, why he decided to become who and what he chose to be. Angel Fire and Firefight. This is called the Solar Ascension, right? Not the Solar Ascension, the Nova Explosion, when they combine their own abilities. This is the back cover of the first Firebound book. And of course, the prequel to that whole thing is a military saga dealing with Hellion 6. They're both just soldiers, military members, going about their business until fate intervenes and they become more than human. This is Entropy, the new design. I love the locks, the darkness. Entropy feeling the power of firefight as he summons more of his own power. And it is amazing, right? These next series of images depicts Angel Fire getting in the way, and she's now taking on Entropy because Firefight himself is hurt. And when they both come back out of it, they combine their powers and attack together. And that's when Entropy really feels the effect. Now this is Entropy escaping before he loses the battle completely. He opens an interdimensional rift and travels back to his own universe. Entropy. The Ember Triad is coming soon also. These were the original flame bearers. Now the Gould Paradox, for those who love Stargate, I did a fan fiction novel on my idea of where the aliens should have gone. Then Alien Planet Born Elsewhere. That whole idea, as far as I'm gonna increase the slide length a little bit. I think I'm missing some imagery here. You know, the absolute exciting thing about all of this is that this will look so good when it hits YouTube. I mean, YouTube, Netflix, Prime Video. It will look perfect, and I can't wait till the audience at large. And yeah, I know my social media footprint isn't that great right now, but it will all be worth it when the world gets to see the books I've created.
And tasked with stopping a threat that shattered time itself. But the flame runs deeper. Angel Fire and Firefight. Nicole Glass and Trey Stokes, two soldiers. When the primordial ember chooses them, they rise from Echo Site 9 as living conduits of fire. Angel Fire, Radiant Wings, Healer Protector, Solar Ascension. Firefight, Molten Power, Destructive Heat, Nuclear Inferno. Their story unfolds across comics and novels, revealing the ancient history of the Flamebearers, the fall of entropy.
What if humanity didn't originate on Earth but was placed here? Alien Planet. Born Elsewhere explores a forbidden possibility hidden beneath myth, mathematics, and memory. Across cultures and centuries, humanity has recorded the same impossible knowledge, precise celestial alignments, and mathematical structures that appeared long before the tools to understand them existed. When three individuals, Trace and Isha, and Thiogo begin experiencing identical dreams, visions and fragments of a forgotten past, those anomalies stop being abstract. They become personal. Their experiences are not hallucinations, symbolism, or coincidence. They are residual pathways of recognition embedded deep within the species. Following relocation, every species on Earth is adapted to its environment, except us. We burn in the sun, drown in the oceans, freeze without shelter. We were never meant to survive here unassisted. Comma. Equations surface where memory fails. Geometry persists where language collapses. Alien Planet. Born Elsewhere is not a story about aliens visiting Earth. It is a story about humanity, remembering where it came from and questioning what it was placed here to become. Alien Planet. Born Elsewhere by Trey Stokes.
The awakening. The mountain is reduced to ash, but two soldiers walk out, alive, changed. Trey Stokes now radiates molten energy. Fire pulses from his skin. Baz. Nicole Glass emerges with golden fire flickering behind her, flings forming from her back. They emerge not as casualties, but as something more. Hellion 6 watch original story and characters from Trey Stokes. Be one of the first to read their amazing story.
The Dark Prince, created and written by Trey Stokes, is a journey into a mystical world of kings, dragons, and ancient magic. In the westernmost reaches of the known world, where jagged cliffs fall into the roaring sea, and the winds still whisper the names of forgotten kings, lies the kingdom of Elon. It is here that a warrior of legend rose, known only as the Dark Prince. He was heir to the throne, guardian of the realm, and the bearer of a flame bound to blood, honor, and destiny. He was loved by his people, feared by his enemies, and chosen by something greater. His name will echo through the ages, a whisper of the first kings, and a spark that would one day ignite the future of FyreBound. This is not just a story, it is a reckoning. The Dark Prince, an original character created and written by Trey Stokes.
What if every story you've read was just the surface of something deeper? I'm Trey Stokes, author, veteran, and creator of a growing universe of powerful, original stories. From the ashes of disaster rises FyreBound, a cinematic comic book series where flame bearers rise against cosmic chaos. It begins with two heroes, Angel Fire and Firefight, forged in fire, reborn from sacrifice, and tasked with stopping a threat that shattered time itself. But the flame runs deeper. Enter the Dark Prince, a mythic warrior from ancient days, tied to the same power that fuels FyreBound. His legend spans kingdoms, battles, and a secret bloodline that connects to the present. And for the young explorers out there, meet Jarvis and Keonna, a clever rabbit brother and sister, who venture into the unknown with courage, wit, and heart.
What's going on? Not sure if you're still there, but yes, it's been a while. I've been just doing some writing. Finally got my book I've been working on for 6 months. Finally got it published and ready to go. So hopefully the world will get to enjoy. Yes. So on my on all the books that's listed on the page, you have Alien Planet. Alien Planet is probably my biggest and most ambitious project. It kind of hits on the idea of what if humanity wasn't from Earth, right? What if all the feelings we have, all of the war, all the aggression, the sleepless nights, the dreams, and what if it means we were simply left here? And in the book, three individuals from different places, no connection at all with each other, start having the same dream, the same visions, and those visions lead to a deeper truth about like the pyramids and all these megalithic structures around the world. So they're on a journey to discover what their dreams mean, and at the same time, they get to see and understand the beautiful things. Hello, what's going on, Sue? Beautiful things of the Earth's own history. And one of the coolest things in the book is that each there's three main characters, and myself is one, Trey. They get transported to an ancient part of Earth's past. Oh, I'm great, thanks. I'm just talking about my new book, Alien Planet. And during his adventure, like Trey gets transported, some temporal anomaly transports him to ancient Egypt, so he gets to witness the pyramids being built. Diego gets sent back to a time when Earth had no moon. So that's one of my, like, the whole idea of the story. It's not just a fantasy story. You know, I took real life ideas from astrophysicists, archaeologists, and everybody who had this idea of alien planets, and Then I added it to this book to make it a great sci-fi adventure. So I really appreciate that. I know I don't have the biggest social media footprint, but once these bad boys get out there, hopefully Netflix or someone will pick this up. I appreciate everybody who supported. And I'm not going to be one of those guys who just talk and talk about it, but I really appreciate people who stop by, even if just for a second. And I really appreciate that. And also, if anybody out there is a Stargate sci-fi fan, I wrote a fan fiction book, The Gold Paradox, which I try to explain my idea of what the villains of the Stargate universe, what they were lacking, what they missed, the opportunities that MGM and Paramount missed out on creating this character. So it's my version. It's almost like an encyclopedic type thing. Oh yes, definitely. So yeah, I appreciate anyone stopping by. I appreciate it. And good luck at work. Be safe. Stay warm. And thanks for the gift. You know, I'm the last person to ever ask for anything, but I do appreciate it. Thanks. And if anyone gets an opportunity to check out any of these books, oh, I appreciate that too. Thanks, Sue. Thanks for the hearts before you leave. I appreciate it.
What if humanity didn't originate on Earth but was placed here? Alien planet. Elsewhere explores a forbidden
So I got a recording. Listen to this.
tools to understand. Humanity didn't originate on Earth but was placed here. Alien planet. Born elsewhere explores a forbidden possibility hidden beneath myth, mathematics, and memory. Across cultures and centuries, humanity has recorded the same impossible knowledge, precise celestial alignments, and mathematical structures that appeared long before the tools to understand them existed. When three individuals, Trace and Isha, and Thiogo begin experiencing identical dreams, visions and fragments of a forgotten past, those anomalies stop being abstract. They become personal. Their experiences are not hallucinations, symbolism, or coincidence. They are residual pathways of recognition embedded deep within the species. Following relocation, every species on Earth is adapted to its environment, except us. We burn in the sun, drown in the oceans, freeze without shelter. We were never meant to survive.
And that's kind of the main thing, right?
Equations.
How is it that we're the most advanced species on Earth, but every other creature is born and they have developed adaptations to nature itself? Arctic wolves, polar bears, birds, fish, everything is born to this world can survive in its own environment if nothing else bothers it. But humanity, we can't walk outside without clothes in the winter. We can't climb a mountain without gear and shoes and things like that. We can't visit the ocean without submarines, without scuba tanks. So it seems so strange that we have so little adaptations for the planet we were born to as the first dominant species. So what if, just what if, there's another world more suited to our biology, another world where the environment nourishes us instead of hurting us? Even here on Earth, you got microbes and COVIDs and viruses. All these things hurt us, right? We need a pill, we need a shot, we need vaccinations. But what if there's a place where none of that is necessary? And Alien Planet Born Elsewhere represents that idea. Like there is a world out there where we originally came from. And once we get back there, it will soothe the savage nature of humanity, right? wars, the conflicts, perhaps all of it is just our resistance to a world we no longer belong to. But of course, this is just you too. Be safe. Enjoy work if you can, and hopefully, I can build a better community of people, who love storytelling and love books because I think, and culturally speaking, black, white, or whatever, I think the idea of storytelling and writing and things like that, we're losing that. We're losing touch with that. We love the kind of the violence we see on TikTok and things of that nature, but books allow us to be something else, right? To aspire, to be more, to use our imagination, to be creative. And I would love to work with other people. I don't care if they're artists, poets, and wouldn't it be cool to have a joint novel, like three or four people come together, five people, and write one book, and everybody gets credit as an author, put it out there on Amazon or something like that. Like each person contributes 200 page, I don't know. I'm just making this up. 100 pages, 200 pages, whatever they're comfortable with. Because if you look at some of the best books out there, like science, I don't care if it's science or engineering books, they always have like 5 to 10 people who contributed to that book, and they're all featured in the bio. And that would be such a great idea. The first TikTok collaborative novel, that thing would go number one New York Times bestseller, number one on Amazon. It would be so cool. But and I'm not being negative, but it's hard in this era, right? Everybody wants the flash and the riches and the streaming and the streamers and the cars, and which is great. I love that we have so many opportunities to make revenue, but I think we're losing the artistic part of our soul and our personality, our mindset, because not everyone can just live a million dollar lifestyle. Sometimes there's more grounded ideas and ideologies, and if we can focus on that, that's where long-term wealth comes from. Building a foundation, intellectual properties, IPs, and stop worrying so much about creators and things like that. But like most of my books I've written, and if you look at the image there, the Ember Triad, they came before FyreBound. So everything is a movie ready to happen. And I'm so looking forward to that. Alien Planet, FyreBound, Jarvis and Keonna. Everything is patterned so it could be a standalone film or animation or something like that. So once I get the right backing, right support, I think we will do some big things with these things. And sometimes you get lucky, right? You get the right person that steps into your room. I don't know, the guy who wrote Black Panther or something like that. Like the right person steps in and has an idea based on your idea, and you never know. You never know. But so many people I talk to, they dream and they have visions of songs that they hear songs in their sleep, and they wake up and it's not a song they've ever heard, but a song somehow they wrote it in their sleep, or they're dreaming about some crazy adventure. And those are stories. They're screaming to be heard, right? In my opinion, like you should get up and write all those ideas down and put it out there for the world to see. It's like your brain is telling you, why not, right? You love Marvel, you love Star Wars, you love Star Trek, you love aliens and things like that. Why not tell your own version of everything you've ever loved? And of course, I'm not putting myself I'm not saying I'm Marvel or DC, but the ideas are solid, right? A lot of my ideas, FyreBound, Jarvis and Keonna, that's on the screen now. A brother sister duo out exploring the world. Every child, kid, every adult can understand that feeling, right? To be young, to want to explore and understand the world around you. All of those things will hit so hard once the right people hear these ideas. And of course, my folks, I would love them to read these stories because these are stories you can read to kids and get them to further enhance their ability to create and to imagine. I just remember growing up, we always wanted to write something down or we wanted to draw, and now it seems like nobody, not nobody, but people that who are doing those things are now this in the successful part of the world because writing and being creative on your own is rare. Everybody wants to stream and things like that. But if you can write a book and get it published and put it out there, you will do great things. I know I'm probably speaking to myself, but that's okay too. I can't wait to share part two. FyreBound's the second book. Oh my gosh. I took a different creative approach with the art, right? The art, the book's going to start out, it's going to look realistic. When I say realistic, it's going to be real models dressed as my characters, and they will be the characters. First chapter, and then it's going to transition into the more comic book looking art. It's going to be wonderful. One day, one day I'll have 300 people in this room talking about books and art and creativity. That's a tomorrow I can't wait for. What if every story you've read was just the surface of something deeper? I'm Trey Stokes, author and creating of a growing universe of powerful original stories. From the ashes of disaster, we get Firebound, a cinematic comic book series where flame bearers, angel Angel Fire and Firefight, forged in fire, they are tasked with stopping a threat of cosmic proportions. Nicole Glass and Trey Stokes, two heroes, two soldiers who rise from Echo Site 9 as living conduits of fire. Angel Fire, the radiant flame of grace and protection. Firefight, molten fire, revealing the ancient history of the flame bearers and the fall of entropy. Entropy on the screen. But what if humanity didn't originate from Earth? Alien Planet Born Elsewhere explores forbidden, hidden truths. Across cultures, across the centuries, humanity has recorded the impossible same imagery. Mathematical structures, and the tools to help understand them. Megalithic structures, pyramids, the Great Serpentine structure. So many structures around the world, so similar, which seems to suggest a unifying intelligence. Every species on Earth except us is adapted to its environment following relocation. Now, I call relocation the point in time where humanity has been placed here by aliens and alien nature. But
Trey Stokes now radiates molten energy. Fire pulses from his skin. As Nicole Glass emerges with golden fire flings forming from her back. They emerge not as casualties, but as something more. L6 watches as Trey. Are transformed by ancient power, touched by the primary ember. Firefight.
it's going okay. How's it going with you? How's your project? Just released a couple of books. Finally got the Alien Planet released, which is, I think, my most ambitious project. So I'm excited about that. That's finally out. Got my author's copy. And, it's going well. It's like as soon as you finish one project, you can't wait to start something else. So it takes time away from, unless you got a team, it takes time away from streaming and going live and things like that. Well, guess I'll let you play one last time. If anyone's listening, I'm gonna play my recording, let it play for about 10 minutes, and get on out of here.
Creator of a group, what if every story you've read was was just the surface of something deeper? I'm Trey Stokes, author, veteran, and creator of a growing universe of powerful, original stories. Fire from the Ashes of Disaster Rises, FyreBound, a cinematic comic book series where flame bearers rise against cosmic chaos. It begins with two heroes, Angel Fire and Firefight, forged in fire, reborn from sacrifice, and tasked with stopping a threat that shattered time itself. But the flame runs deeper. Angel Fire and Firefight. Nicole Glass and Trey Stokes, two soldiers, when the primordial ember chooses them. They rise from Echo Site 9 as living conduits of fire. Angel Fire, radiant wings, healer protector, solar ascension. Firefight, molten power, destructive heat, nuclear inferno. Their story unfolds across comics and novels, revealing the ancient history of the Flamebearers, the fall of entropy.
What if humanity didn't originate on Earth but was placed here? Alien planet. Born elsewhere explores a forbidden possibility hidden beneath myth, mathematics, and memory. Across cultures and centuries, humanity has recorded the same impossible knowledge, precise celestial alignments, and mathematical structures that appeared long before the tools to understand them existed. When three individuals, Trace, Anisha, and Thiogo, begin experiencing identical dreams, visions and fragments of a forgotten past, those anomalies stop being abstract. They become personal. Their experiences are not hallucination, symbolism, or coincidence. They are residual pathways of recognition embedded deep within the species. Following relocation, every species on Earth is adapted to its environment, except us. We burn in the sun, drown in the oceans, freeze without shelter. We were never meant to survive here unassisted. Comma. Equations surface where memory fails. Geometry persists where language collapses. Alien planet. Born Elsewhere is not a story about aliens visiting Earth. It is a story about humanity, remembering where it came from and questioning what it was placed here to become. Alien Planet. Born Elsewhere by Trey Stokes.
The awakening. The mountain is reduced to ash, but two soldiers walk out, alive, changed. Trey Stokes now radiates molten energy. Fire pulses from his skin. Nicole Glass emerges with golden fire flickering behind her, flames forming from her back. They emerge not as casualties, but as something more. Hellion 6 watches as Trey and Nicole are transformed by an ancient power. Touched by the primordial ember, Trey Stokes is now Firefight, the living infernal, and Nicole Glass is now Angel Fire, the flame of grace. Together they are FyreBound. Original story and characters from Trey Stokes. Be one of the first to read their amazing story.
The Dark Prince, created and written by Trey Stokes, is a journey into a mystical world of kings, dragons, and ancient magic. In the westernmost reaches of the known world, where jagged cliffs fall into the roaring sea, and the winds still whisper the names of forgotten kings, lies the kingdom of Kar-Elon. It is here that a warrior of legend rose, known only as the Dark Prince. He was heir to the throne, guardian of the realm, and the bearer of a flame bound to blood, honor, and destiny. He was loved by his people, feared by his enemies, and chosen by something greater. His name will echo through the ages, a whisper of the first kings, and a spark that would one day ignite the future of FyreBound. This is not just a story. It is a reckoning. The Dark Prince, an original character created and written by Trey Stokes.
What if every story you've read was just the surface of something deeper? I'm Trey Stokes, author, veteran, and creator of a growing universe of powerful, original stories. From the Ashes of Disaster Rises, FyreBound, a cinematic comic book series where flame-bearers rise against cosmic chaos. It begins with two heroes, Angel Fire and Firefight, forged in fire, reborn from sacrifice. itself. But the flame runs deeper. Enter the Dark Prince, a mythic warrior from ancient days, tied to the same power that fuels FyreBound. His legend spans kingdoms, battles, and a secret bloodline that connects to the present. And for the young explorers out there, meet Jarvis and Keonna, a clever rabbit brother and sister, who venture into the unknown with courage, wit, and heart. Book 1, Curiosity and Danger. Book 2, Into the Deeper Woods. Then there's Hellion 6, a prequel rooted in military realism. Before they were superheroes, they were soldiers, sacrificing everything, serving with fire in their hearts. These stories are connected, emotional, cinematic, and entirely original. If you're tired of recycled stories, welcome to a world created from scratch. This is the FyreBound universe, written, developed, and owned by Trey Stokes.
The world didn't end with fire. It was fire. Two soldiers, bound by duty, transformed by something ancient, something alive. Trey Stokes became the living inferno, a weapon of heat and raw force. Nicole Glass became the flame of grace, protector, radiant, unshaken. Together, they are known as FyreBound. Beneath a mountain long thought dormant, they discovered the primordial ember, a living flame older than time. And it chose them. It chose balance. And in that moment, the battlefield became something else. A rebirth, an awakening. The skies broke open. The ground burned beneath their feet. But they stood, not as victims, but as fire-forged guardians of the new war. But where there is fire, there is also cold and shadow. A force-caught entropy has returned. Jealous of the light, sworn to consume it. He remembers the flame. And now, he wants to extinguish it. They are FyreBound, chosen by the Ember. This is only the beginning. They were soldiers first, but now, the flame has chosen. Firefight, angel fire, FyreBound. The flame didn't choose one or the other. The flame chose balance, destructive force, tempered by grace and protection. Follow me, subscribe. See you next time. What if every story you've read was just the surface of something deeper? I'm Trey Stokes, author, veteran, and creator of a growing universe. Ashes of Disaster Rises, FyreBound, a cinematic comic book series where flame bearers rise against cosmic chaos. It begins with two heroes, Angel Fire and Firefight, forged in fire, reborn from sacrifice.
is now unredacted.
I don't want to have to be the one to say birthday to you. Happy birthday. I wanted a man to lead me.
The fastest bird in the world. She can hit speeds of about 300 kilometers. We're not gonna make it. Please tell my wife.
This morning, a formula that is naturally reversing cases. So does he just name them?
Look, I bet you Nikki Haley is done, everybody. Her political career is over.
After the name of the Kennedy Center has been changed to Trump Kennedy Center, according to the president, he told the Associated Press in an email, quote, "When I saw the name change on the Kennedy Center,
Or is better, but placing is.
Trump attended various parties. Here's how guys.
Would you rather be bit?
I didn't know what.
And this is the guy. Billionaire Les Wexner, founder of Victoria's Secret, is now unredacted as a co-conspirator. He gave Epstein power of attorney and a Manhattan.
I said I don't know what I'll do. What did you do? Can you give me a back, Keonna?
I did. I said Martin Luther gave a speech.
That's piss poor. Give me a good one.
No, I already gave mine first.
Martin Luther Jr. say life is a. What?
No, he didn't.
Who is Martin Luther Jr.?
You have gray hair.
You can look at board on this. Give this young man who's been going around, Nick Shirley, who's like kind of going door to door, like trick or treating about fraud, kind of, right? And Walker. I'm in the box.
Give me 3.
Hey, can I ask you a question, bro? Yes. Is Jordan?
Did y'all hear what Melanie Stansbury found in the Epstein file?
Yeah, he was speaking for him. Yo, live gangster is gotta keep it.
Every single day, it's something new with Eric.
This is what Elon Musk can buy with his $500 billion.
Let me put in the flat that Nikki is getting.
I need a loan.
Amazon's home security company rings. And that's
This I found out. I wasn't a great dad. I went to go get my daughter from school for early dismissal. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go get my daughter, do daddy-daughter date, surprise and shit, have a good time. I get to the school and say, hey, what's going on? I'm here to get my daughter. Go do daddy-daughter